So I'm standing here at the Montage Resort and Spa in Laguna Beach. You look around you, this is probably one of the most beautiful places on the earth. It's no wonder like 80 gazillion people want to live in California. But this place has got special meaning to me. For those of you that know me pretty well, you know that the last couple of years I've struggled with defining why, why I'm doing everything I'm doing, what's my purpose in life. And I know a lot of men struggle with that at various points of their life, and struggle to figure out what's their purpose, what's the meaning of life, why am I here, what am I meant to do. And I joined I had a friend send me a link to this Wake Up Warrior group, and the exact quote was, "I'd love to meet a guy who's willing to pay $10,000. Hey Brian, love you brother. $10,000 for someone to punch him in the face." And this was like back in last October, and I guess my response was, I think you already know this guy. So yeah, it was $10,000. I chickened out in November with my first call. I didn't take it, and then in February, after a company party, a group investor party where I drank way too much, I had my call the next morning. I remember it vividly. It was a Sunday afternoon, and Coach Sam called me at like 2 in the afternoon. And I was out in the street walking around. Well, my wife and kids, Jess and the boys, were in the hot tub. And I wasn't going to take the call because I was just like so ashamed of like my behavior and who I'd become as a man, and almost dodged it. And that would have been one of the great mistakes in my life. I took, yeah, John, I know, I'll punch you back in the face for half that. Anyway, I took the call, and immediately like Coach Sam just started like talking to me like no man's talked to me in like since I was a kid, like basically telling me to shut up and say, hey, start listening, quit talking. And it was a kick in the face that I needed, because I needed to wake up. I struggle with alcohol like a lot of men do. I was just didn't know why I was doing it. Life had told me that, I had like, great house, great wife, great kids, great businesses, great employees, great friends. I had all this stuff, and I just couldn't figure out why, why I wasn't happy. So that started this journey. I went to what's called Warrior Week. Garrett J. White, you're the man. Thank you for doing this. Warrior Week 58 was us. Google it, friends. Go to the Warrior movie, Warrior documentary. I'll put a link in the comments later so you guys can check it out. But it looks kind of crazy. It looks really intense. But it's a program for men who have kids, who work for or run businesses, who are married, who want to figure out their why. They want to figure out what to do with their lives. They work with you on your body, getting back in shape, your spirituality. I'm not a religious guy, but boy, am I a spiritual guy now. They work on your balance, which is your relationship with your wife and your kids, and dating your wife again, treating her like it's somebody you just met, and your kids, make sure you're dating your children and talking to them, and then dating yourself. Like, I started playing guitar again. That's my date. That's my weekly date. And music guys, I'm not a musician, but the music guys, they got it. They're usually full of energy and life and stuff. But then all this is meant to help power you in business. And I'll tell you, it changed my life. We went to the Warrior Week program, had a 30-day build-up, and you had to like go in a Facebook group and talk about what's the worst thing you've ever done, what's the biggest lie you ever told, what's something only you know that you did that you're ashamed of. And questions like that, tough questions. Like I was crying in a lot of videos. I had to like really dig deep and get this, go to dark places that I didn't want to go. And God, I look like I slept under a bridge last night, don't I? Anyway, I am on a run, so if I look like crap, it's because I'm sweating. Anyway, and I had to do that, and I didn't have to. I didn't have to do anything. I wanted to, and it got me to face some of the demons I had. And their goal was for them to like get you to face it, to acknowledge it, to understand it, and then let it go. Understand that, you're not going to be perfect in life, that you are who you are, and you've got warts. We all are people who, we have good qualities, we have bad qualities, and the goal in life is not to be perfect. The goal is to be better. Try to be better every day. Progress, not perfection. I got this chain, the last event. It's just, I am that I am. I'm a man who has got flaws. I love my wife, I love my family, I love my friends, and I had to learn to love myself. Like, I've made, people say, are you living the life of your dreams? My God, I've made more money, and, pissed away more money than I ever thought I'd ever have. So I can't even imagine the life I had right now when I was a kid. But I didn't appreciate it. I hated it. I hated my life. I hated myself. And I know a lot of men struggle with this, and they're afraid to talk about it. And this was hard for me to do on Facebook Live, but it's one of my commitments was to like actually talk about the experience, because, I lived it, I experienced it. Now it's my job to teach other men, boys, whatever, to be able to face these demons and accept themselves. So that's why I'm doing this video. This is the site. So anyway, Warrior Week had a 30-day build-up. Then we came to Laguna for like 1 week program. It was intense, like intense physically, intense emotionally. I can't really talk about what we did. It's not that it's a big secret. It's just that there were things that happened. There were evolutions that were very purposeful that taught us lessons. And I know I've shared some of the experiences with people. It was basically 5 days where I shut my phone off, did not respond, did not read a text, a voicemail, or an email. I have not done that in 20 years, all right? And that alone was an evolution. I let all this stuff go at work, where I had systems put in place so I could get away, and the people did a phenomenal job. Marissa Fontaine, you are a rock star. You are awesome. My wife Jess, you are awesome for taking care of business at home and office, so I can, I can have my midlife crisis. It's not a crisis. It's so anyway. So I'm really getting long-winded here, but when I came back from Warrior Week, I had a huge reception at home. Everyone came back. They wanted to hear the story. It was so incredibly awesome. So like just emotional for me to have that support group with my neighbors and my friends and my family. It was just, it makes me want to cry right now thinking about it. But and then we had this thing called a 90-day challenge, where you had to like make impossible goals for yourself. So one of mine was do a triathlon, because last year I tried one, and Minnetonka Triathlon, they canceled the race when I was in the water. I probably would have died. They pulled me out of the water, thank God. But I did the Buffalo Triathlon and the Minnetonka one, and Morgan McAdam, you had to sign up for another one, but they canceled the race. So I did that. Like business, I like completely reorganized our business, restructured everything, rebranding it right now. Writing a book. I've been doing like spiritual declarations on like things I identify in life. My wife and I are dating again, going out for a date night every week, taking the boys. We have Friday night family night. Used to be Friday night fight night. But we're doing that. I'm doing guitar now. I had a guitar that left in the attic for 20 years. The phrase, when's the best time to plant a tree? Well, 20 years ago. What's the second best time? Today. So that's why I picked up the guitar. I mean, if I would have just practiced an hour a week for the last 20 years, I'd be playing the thing with my teeth. I'd be Jimi Hendrix right now. But whatever, I'm going to start again. And me playing the guitar got my kids interested, which is awesome. I want them to be, get into music. Gosh, every guy out there, if you would have stuck with those piano lessons, you would have slated with the ladies in college. Personal guarantee. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. I can't wait to get back to the hotel. We're staying at the Surf and Sand. They have oat milk lattes. If you've never had oat milk, it's like the way it was described to me, Michael O'Neill, Solopreneur Hour, you described it best. It's like the milk that you drink after a bowl of Lucky Charms or some sugar cereal. It's so good. It's so good. I can't wait to get back and have one. And then I want to give a call out, Coach Sam, Garrett, Jay White, Coach Kevin, you're a monster. You're a monster. You're a man among kittens. You're a lion amongst kittens. Coach Adam Smith, thank you all. Dan, all you guys. I don't want to leave anybody out, but this is like a really emotional moment for me to be back here again. So, all right, I gotta go. I gotta finish this run. Thanks to everybody who's checking in. I will More to come.